So tonight, the New York Times reports of a possible attempt by President Trump to interfere with the Cohen investigations by putting pressure on his former acting attorney general, Matthew Whitaker, to get one of his allies in charge of those probes. Now, these allegations seem to support what the former acting head of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, says triggered him to start an investigation into obstruction by this president and whether or not he was being unduly influenced. He just said this to Anderson.
Do you still believe the president could be a Russian asset?
I think it's possible. I think that's why we started our investigation, and I'm really anxious to see where Director Mueller concludes that.
The president calls it all nonsense. His chief defender is here to make the case. Senior advisor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, welcome back to Primetime.
Thank you.
The idea of the possibility, according to Andrew McCabe, that this president is compromised and maybe even an asset of Russia. Your response?
It's hardly worth dignifying with a response. He's a known liar and leaker, and he has said to your colleague Anderson Cooper and earlier today on a different network, gee, I guess it's possible, but I can't say that as a fact. Then why the heck are we talking about it? And why are we imbuing credibility on somebody who the professional responsibility and the Inspector General people, an Obama appointee at that, concluded had lied under oath, had acted without candor, had compromised the honesty and integrity that we know the 35,000 or so rank-and-file FBI men and women who go to work every day, Chris, and do their jobs very well, that they possess and he does not. So, again, we just throw these words out there and then say yes or no. It is completely ridiculous, and he knows it. Something that caught my ear.
Well, he wouldn't have started an investigation,
former number 2 at the FBI,
if he knew it.
Said, oh, no, he may have, and here's why. No, he may have, because just like his former boss, Jim Comey, these guys come out and write books, and then all of a sudden they have to announce something to the whole world. Grab your hats. You're not going to believe this one. Clutch your pearls. First of all, if you really feel that way, why do you wait almost 2 years? In fact, in this case, about 2 years to tell everyone. And why does it coincide with a book tour? In fact, the two most explosive things that he tried to wedge in there before the book was even released late last week aren't even in the book. The silly 25th Amendment nonsense that wasn't real, and this stuff about the Deputy Attorney General wearing, it's not even in his book, and yet it's part of the book tour. Do you know Olivier Knox, who is the head of the White House Correspondents Association today, actually tweeted, wow, too controversial, or use a different word, to put in the actual book, but really nifty to have as part of your book tour.
It's a fair point.
You can't just have people throwing out these words about the President of the United States.
It comes down to credibility.
And then we just have to say yes or no.
It comes down to credibility, and that we can only know what we show. But you already attacked his credibility. But
no, he's been fired.
I understand what happened to him, and I'm sure.
I didn't attack his credibility. He's proven to have lied under oath, and he lost his job for that reason.
They said that he lacked candor, but do you believe that this president has more credibility than Andrew McCabe?
Yes, of course. It's not even close.
Why?
And let me tell you something else. Andrew McCabe tried to overthrow a democratically elected president, he and his friends at the FBI at the top echelon, and they got caught.
If he tried to overthrow, why did he never discuss it with the press? What he got caught for lying about was leaking stories about Hillary Clinton's investigation, not this president. He never talked about this president, so why would you think he wanted to hurt him when he could have leaked about him and he didn't?
Well, first of all, no, the better question is, why is he talking about the president now? Like his boss Comey, they had like 3, 4, 5 interactions. This man just told your colleague Anderson Cooper, in my 21-year career at the FBI, which he left in disgrace because he lied under oath several times.
And the president wanted him out.
Known leaker, and the Obama appointee, the professional responsibility individual who was appointed by President Obama, Chris, let's be fair here. Let's tell the audience everything at play.
Tell me when I get it wrong.
That person concluded that, well, no, but that person concluded that Andrew McCabe had lied, that he had not acted with candor, and that he had disclosed information to members
about
of the
the
media,
Clinton Foundation investigation. That part matters,
and you're asking me about his credibility. So there you go. No. What matters is he is running around.
Let's say he lied. This president has lied in a way that we've never seen. Lying. So I'm just saying, how can you say he's got better credibility?
We've got
one thing on McCabe. We've got thousands on this president.
Hey, that is such a ridiculous thing, and here's why. First of all, I'm not going to do a whataboutism about the President of the United States and the disgraced number 2 at the FBI, who really left the FBI's credibility in tatters. He says that the president doesn't respect the intelligence. And no, that's not why he left. He left because, and he lied again. And he lied all day long in the media. You know why? Somebody's going to lie under oath like Andrew McCabe has been proven to do 3 or 4 times. Is certainly going to lie not under oath. And is the hero's welcome he's getting by most in the media. Here's the other thing about Andrew McCabe. He lied by saying, oh, they wanted me out. Let me just give him a news flash. I've been in the White House since day one of the White House. Nobody's talking about Andrew McCabe at the soda machine by the Navy mess.
The president
He's not
was
exactly
talking about him, talking about his wife, saying he was a
conversation.
plant, using them as an extension of a deep state,
We don't care about his wife.
the FBI and the DOJ
you mean the
were
woman who
against
got
him?
You mean his wife who got $500,000 from a Democratic PAC when she was running, I think, a failed race for state office? Nobody really cares about that.
The president did.
And look, the president addressed that in a tweet today. Here's what's important. What's important is people need to know that the number 1 and the number 2 at the FBI and other people in the highest echelons at the FBI thought so little of the democratically elected president, thought so little of the will of the voters that they needed a, quote, insurance policy. They were demeaning and berating and deriding and lashing at the Trump voters, calling them. That's enough for me. And
of course it is. Out of convenience.
People? Yeah, but. Well, wait a second. You want us to think that they're lovers, but what were they really, Chris? Where did they work? They worked at the FBI. They were top level. So let's stop.
Can't
This
cheat
all
if you're at the
this
FBI?
all started with the DNC Clinton campaign funded dossier. Look, I expect the Clinton campaign to want to stop Donald Trump from being president. That's their job. I am disappointed, but I'm not surprised that most of the mainstream media tried to stop Donald Trump from becoming president. But we should all be outraged, you included, that people at the highest levels of the FBI tried to put their thumb on the scale to prevent this man from being president. It's amazing
they didn't even
that he got
leak
elected.
it. They wound up
really
leaking about the Clinton campaign and not the Trump campaign. Comey came out and eviscerated Hillary Clinton. He never laid a glove on Donald Trump.
They were doing. They wanted an insurance policy. They were berating the Trump voters.
They did some lousy job of hurting this president. Let me tell you.
All the elitist
they did a lousy job of hurting his campaign.
Now who are all lawyered up.
Note to self,
so here's
all
what McCabe
FBI
also
members who want to affect the next campaign, don't attack the other person's campaign if you want to hurt somebody in a campaign.
Well,
it's not that effective.
Here's what's so weird. Here's what's so odd. You've got the disgraced number 2 who was fired because of the Obama appointee at the Professional Responsibility Office decided
he
should
was part of the deep state.
No. It was an Obama appointee who wrote the report, right? Who concluded that
I'm not questioning the Inspector General. McCabe does that. He's got his own lawsuit.
President Trump, Kellyanne Conway, Christopher Cuomo, and the man on the moon. None of us forced this man to lie under oath. He is a serial liar.
It's true. It just matters what he lied about. What he lied about matters. And if you're going to talk about mendacity being bothersome to you, you would be working in the wrong place right now.
What he lied about matters. Well, so you're okay that the number 2, in fact, the acting director for a while at the FBI.
Of course I'm not. That's why I keep asking you about this president's lies every time you come on.
That's just crazy.
But that's why I'm so worried about the president's mendacity. It matters. When leaders lie,
No, let's talk about this guy selling a book. Let's talk about this guy selling a book. He tried to subvert the will of the people, a Democratic elected president.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
Donald Trump gets elected like, oh my God, there must be a reason for
I don't buy that.
Other than you had Hillary blaming Comey.
The reason is
but you had
that
McCabe
the president was going after everybody around this probe. He got rid of Comey.
Hey, folks, Donald Trump's the president. It's been going on for a couple years now, and get used to it because it's going to last another 6.
This is not about threatening the presidency, but I like your word next. The idea of what has been going on here. You saw the Times reporting today, Kellyanne. Do you believe that the president wanted Berman in charge of the Southern District investigations?
The president says he denied it today on camera. The press pool was in there. In addition,
I'm asking you if you believe it.
Denied it today, and no, I don't believe it because Berman was already recused, and the president knew that. Well, why would he want somebody who's already been recused?
Are you sure the president knew it?
To oversee an investigation?
Are you sure the president knew it?
I'm telling you what the president said. Knew what?
That
knew
he was
the man
recused.
Was recused?
Yeah.
Of course he would know it. If I knew it, he knew it. He's the president. If you knew it, certainly a lot of people knew it, right?
Well,
but
I'm saying it was very knowable.
Answer that question.
You know, the DOJ.
Here's a fundamental question I have for you.
Response to that, Kellyanne. I mean, we're both lawyers, and it looked like a lawyered response.
It wasn't clever.
There were no promises
it was very forthright.
or no commitments. He never said they never spoke about it.
The acting attorney general testified at length under oath. He was shown great disrespect.
And he was
by
disrespectful.
Any number of members there. And no, he wasn't disrespectful.
Oh, yes, he was. He spoke in a way that we've never seen anyone in that position address Congress.
We don't know how you got here. That's not true. You should go back and roll the tape of the questions he was asked. But under oath,
I watched it.
He answered that question. And today, the DOJ said in a statement that the then acting Attorney General, Matthew Whitaker, stands by his sworn testimony. The president, independent of that, was asked a question by colleagues of yours in the press today and said, no, that's just more fake news. As
I know, but he said that about things before that wound up being 100% true. And the DOJ said
so let me get this
no promises and no commitments were made, but they never said that the president didn't ask Whitaker about getting Berman back in charge of those investigations. And that would be very consistent with a well-established pattern of behavior. He does that again and again and again. I know he says it's not true, but he's not under oath.
That's so ridiculous. Hey, Chris, here's the deal. Well, McCabe just wasn't under oath on your network, and he lies when he is under oath, so he sure the hell lies when he's not under oath.
I don't know that credibility is your best case against McCabe.
We're just imbuing credibility. Yeah, it is, and I'll tell you why, because whether it's Jussie Smollett or Andrew McCabe, the media just loves to imbue credibility onto people if they come bearing anti-Trump gifts, and it's really a load of crap. It has to stop.
No, I'm
talking about the way...
Likely.
No, I didn't analogize those two. What I said to you was whether it doesn't matter that you imbue credibility on people who otherwise don't necessarily deserve it without proper pushback. And the you is many in the media, not all, because this guy, Andrew McCabe, said that he was fired because they wanted to get rid of him because he opened up an investigation. Let's go through the chronology quickly. May 2017, he opens up an investigation on the president. 1 week later, Bob Mueller takes over that investigation. Andrew McCabe is fired March, so what, 8 months later or so, or January, he's fired.
You think the president had nothing to do with it?
March of 18. Nope, March of 18. The president doesn't care about Andrew McCabe. March of 18.
He sure tweets about him a lot if he doesn't care about him. Come on, Kellyanne, you know he cares.
And then January of 2019, it's revealed in a New York Times article that McCabe had opened up an investigation. So again, May 2017, he opens up the investigation. January 2019, the New York Times reports he had opened up an investigation. March of 2018, he loses his job because independently, it is concluded by President Obama's appointee, that he
lied about leaking stories about Hillary Clinton.
So you don't care what people lie about?
No,
right?
I absolutely do. I'm just saying I think that it's a little convenient that you want to call him a liar, that he's trying to hurt the president, when the only person he ever tried to hurt is Hillary Clinton. And this president also lies about these matters. He said he didn't know anything about the meeting in Trump Tower. He said he didn't have anything to do with this statement. Then it wound up that he wrote this statement. Kellyanne, I mean, come on. He said he didn't have anything to do with Comey getting rid of him.
I have heard anybody
and then he
else.
says on TV he did it because of Russia.
I have a burning question.
Go ahead.
I have a burning question. I have a burning question that I haven't really heard people discuss in a while, if ever. Why did neither Jim Comey nor Andrew McCabe make their way to Trump Tower during the transition after Donald Trump was elected the president? I don't understand this. He was elected on November 8th, technically November 9th, because you guys won't call it when it was obvious. So November 9th. And it takes 3 months for Jim Comey to get to 2 months, January, to get to the White House.
He wrote about it in his book, saying
how
much reservation he had in terms of approaching the president directly. He wanted to follow the normal channels.
Yes, he was really white-knuckled and wringing his hands.
I'm just saying, that's your question. They've answered it. You know,
is that what it was?
Well, I mean, that's
a lot of people came to see Donald Trump, including people you have on your network routinely, some who are paid by your network, but they were begging for jobs and they wanted to keep their jobs. You've got a burning question.
They came to you guys in the campaign, not you directly, but they came to you in the campaign and they said, watch out for the Russians. In July, they told you this. They're trying to get in, be careful. And your people had all kinds of reckless contacts and reaching out for coordination, even after being told not to. I never said you.
And listen, anybody who lied to Congress, they're going to have to suffer the consequences.
Plenty of others. What'd you say?
So I'm consistent. I'm consistent here. People who lied to Congress, lied to investigators about all of that, they'll have to suffer the consequences.
Why so many?
Some already are, some are about to. Same thing with Andrew McCabe. You have to ask them, because I was a campaign manager for the winning part of the campaign, and I thought so much of Donald Trump. I knew he could do it on his own. I was on your network and others every single day walking through the electoral map. Those clips will live forever. We can pull a clip, we can pull a state, we can pull any date and time.
Good for you.
5, 6 times a day.
And you got it done.
I'm making the point. I'm making the point. And I said, no, he got it done. He got it done. But it's amazing he got it done, given that all the king's horses, all the king's men, all the money, all the mainstream media. Now we find out the upper echelon
Nobody
of
got
the
the
FBI
attention by the media
wanted
that he
his
did.
opponent.
Nobody got the attention from the media that he did, for better and worse.
Right, but the media only gets one vote per person, and you guys don't live in swing states by and large. It was his connective tissue with the people.
But I'm saying, don't blame the media for like how they covered him. He was on TV a lot, and every problem he's had has originated from his own mouth.
I want to thank the media. No, I want to thank the media for 2016. I'd love to thank the Democrats for 2019 and 2020 because they are off to an awful start.
Well, look, there's a long way to go before then, but I have two questions for you. You asked me a question.
Trying to out-socialism each other.
There are two questions that this probe needs to answer.
Anti-Semitism, socialism.
And if it's not the probe, then it's got to be Congress, but it's got to be somebody. And it's not about criminality. I don't think anything is about criminality. If they had nothing to hide, including the President of the United States, why did they lie so much about Russia-related matters? And if he has nothing to worry about with this probe,
excuse me, who's they?
The president and people around him.
You have to name the they. Don't say the president.
Let's just take the list of a half dozen people who've been convicted and who have lied under oath.
Say any name Donald J. Trump? Eddie?
No, because he won't go under oath.
Donald J. Trump?
Smart man.
Smart
man.
No.
He won't go under oath.
He's answered questions
under written answers that his lawyers wrote.
No, you know why?
He won't go under oath. Smart man.
Hey, Chris, you know why?
Smart man.
Because there's no collusion and you know it.
Oh, there's plenty of collusion.
And so I think your colleague, Dana Bash, got Adam Schiff to say something very curious on Sunday on this network.
You meet with a Russian guy who's connected to the GRU and you give him polling data and you talk to him about policy? That's his guy.
You're talking about somebody who's just convicted
and sentenced. His two oldest friends in the campaign may have done the most collusion as behavior. Crimes, not for me to say.
Do you find any collusion? And is anything here touching the president and the campaign?
Yeah, he lied. He lied about the meeting in Trump Tower and what he knew about it. He may be lying about what he knew about Stone and Manafort and what others were doing.
He may be lying. I love that. He may be lying.
Maybe.
He may be a Russian.
I don't know. I don't
know
know
what we know for sure?
I know he lies all the time for sure.
Here's something not hypothetical. Here's something not hypothetical. He is the president.
Yes, he is.
He may not be the president.
He shouldn't lie all the time. He's the president.
Deal with it. Learn to live with it, everybody, because you're going to have to be as miserable as you are for 6 more years.
I'm not miserable at all. Look at me. I look good. What I'm saying is
I can't look at you. I'm looking at a blank camera.
He should appreciate his position and not lie needlessly. And if he has nothing to fear with the probe, why does he keep messing with it? Those are my two questions. Why lie about Russia if you have nothing to hide? And why mess with the probe so much if you have nothing to hide?
Tens of millions of dollars. Chris, does it mean anything to you that your network and you have invested just gazillions of dollars and man hours and just airtime in this dead man space? Hold on, these screaming graphics, this spooky music and everything, collusion,
no music on my show.
And now you have,
I don't even like that music.
Now you have Chairman Burr
10 indictments and guilty
saying that they found no collusion. Oh, excuse me, the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee has said no collusion.
Right.
And your colleague Dana Bash
as a crime,
said to
criminal
Chairman
collusion,
Schiff,
which is different than collusion as behavior.
Said, well, what if the Mueller report doesn't say this? And he said right away, well, we'll have our own investigation. He's showing that they just want to investigate, not legislate. They just want to continue.
Nobody should be in favor of that. You need answers. Doesn't matter if they're crimes or not. It could be plenty wrong, but not a crime. And I think everybody should be open to that reality.
Well, in the meantime, this president will continue to preside over a boom economy because it's amazing that he got elected, given the fact that many in the mainstream media, the upper echelons of the FBI, everybody else didn't think he can do it and were in his way. I mean, I don't
agree with that statement at all.
Why aren't you talking about how the dossier started? How are you talking?
I don't agree with that either. And when the Mueller report comes out, we'll see how much of the investigation was based on that. Let's leave it there for now.
But where's the collusion?
The collusion is Manafort taking those meetings.
The
collusion is Trump Jr. and Manafort and Jared taking that meeting. The collusion is Roger Stone trying to get the fruits of WikiLeaks and help with the distribution of it for the benefit of the campaign. That's all collusive behavior. I'm not saying it's a crime, but it's collusive behavior.
The individuals you talked about it. Well, what is the word collusive? You make it sound like a fancy adjective. We both paid way too much for our law degrees. Tell me what you mean by collusive.
They were messing with the wrong people in ways that they should have known better. And they were told not to do it, and they did it anyway. Is it a felony? I don't know. Probably not, but that doesn't mean it's not wrong, and it doesn't mean that they were open for business with the wrong people.
The only person we've discussed tonight on your show who we know lied multiple times
under
oath is named Andrew McCabe.
We got a bunch of liars around you guys, and it includes the president on these matters.
He's out peddling a book. No, No, it's not. And you should stop saying that, because of all the things you said, you and Andrew McCabe said today, may be true, may be true, may be true, may be true.
I'm saying it's absolutely true that the president and others around him have lied about Russia-related matters, and I don't know why. But I got to go. When we learn more, I promise you this, as I've said every time, when that probe comes out, Kellyanne, I'll give you guys as much time as you want to discuss its findings. I believe it's critical to the American people.
Great.
The offer will always stand.
Let's see if there's a report to even discuss.
Well,
and
that's
let's
up
see
to
when
you guys.
these endless investigations actually end.
That's up to you
the
guys.
American people want their elected officials to focus on issues, and my boss
they want that report,
and let's see if
Kellyanne.
the democratically controlled Congress starts to. Now, here's what I see in the democratically controlled Congress. You have Adam Schiff saying we're just going to continue to investigate. You have Tom Steyer pressuring Jerry Nadler to start impeaching the president. He's wasted all this money.
The Mueller probe should put out a report.
You have the anti-Semitic woman from Minnesota. You have the socialist yanking the chain of everybody who's running in 2020.
Focus on the facts. That report should be made public, and I hope you agree with that, and I hope the president does as well. He should want it more than anybody.
That's up to Director Mueller. That's up to Mr. Mueller.
No, it's not.
We have complied.
No, it's not.
You know, we have
He's got a very
produced
specific mandate. He gives it to the AG, and the AG is going to decide what to do with it, and that's your boy.
Okay,
so
fine.
Hopefully it'll come out.
We'll see.
All right, I got to go. Kellyanne, thank
Bill
you for
Barr,
tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
Be well.
You got it.
All right, so there's the defense. Can't believe McCabe and all these other things are too soft to ever stand up. Is that enough?